Imagine a little boy standing on a baseball field. In his eyes, there was only one dream, a dream of making it to Major League Baseball. But he had no idea that one day, the person closest to him would be taken away forever. And when Freddie Freeman had every reason to break down, he chose to turn baseball into his strength. But the story doesn't end there. Because years later, when Freddie Freeman had become a father himself, a moment arrived that would shake his entire world once again. A superstar, a champion, and a son who never forgot the story hidden behind his success. Today, we're going to discover the emotional journey of Freddie Freeman, a journey that isn't just about baseball. It's a story about family, loss, determination, and success. Freddie Freeman's baseball journey began in California, but his family roots were connected to Canada. From an early age, Freddie developed a deep love for baseball. But to him, baseball was never just a game. His father, Fred Freeman, played an incredibly important role in his life. He was his supporter, his guide, and one of the people who encouraged him to keep chasing his dream. When Freddie was young, his father supported him throughout his baseball journey and constantly encouraged him to improve. Freddie would spend hours practicing, working on his batting, and trying to get closer to his dream. That dream was simple. One day, he wanted to become a Major League Baseball player. But Freddie's life was about to face a kind of pain that no young athlete should have to experience. His mother, Rosemary Freeman, was battling cancer. For Freddie, his mother was much more than a parent. She was one of the most important people in his life. But while Freddie was still young, Rosemary passed away. On one side was a young boy chasing his baseball dream, and on the other was a son who had just lost his mother. Moments like that can break a person from the inside. But Freddie refused to let his pain become an obstacle. Instead of walking away from baseball, he became even more determined. Every practice, every game, every achievement carried a memory of his mother. And perhaps that is why baseball never became just a sport for Freddie. Baseball became a connection to his family, a reminder of where he came from. In 2007, Freddie Freeman was drafted by the Atlanta Braves. The dream that once existed only in the eyes of a young boy was about to become reality. But reaching the MLB and staying there are two completely different challenges. Freddie had to prove that he wasn't just a talented young player. He had to prove that he belonged at the major league level. In 2010, he made his MLB debut. And slowly, Freddie Freeman's name became familiar to baseball fans across the country. His swing was smooth. His approach was disciplined. And most importantly, he wasn't afraid of pressure. With the Atlanta Braves, Freddie began building his identity. Season after season, he improved his performance. All-star selections, impressive batting numbers, and remarkable consistency began establishing him as one of the best players in baseball. But Freddie's most powerful weapon wasn't just his bat. It was his mindset. He came into every game with a simple philosophy: contribute to the team, accept the pressure, and never give up. Year after year, Freddie became one of baseball's most reliable superstars. But then came 2020, and the entire world changed. The COVID-19 pandemic affected sports across the globe. Freddie himself was seriously affected by COVID and experienced a high fever and severe symptoms. Being away from baseball and spending time with his family made Freddie realize something once again. The most important things in life aren't numbers. They're family. Then came 2021. Freddie Freeman and the Atlanta Braves entered the postseason. Every game was filled with pressure. Every inning brought them closer to history. And then, the Atlanta Braves reached the World Series. Freddie Freeman helped lead his team through the postseason. The Braves defeated the Houston Astros. And Freddie Freeman became a World Series champion. Think about that for a moment. A player who had lost his mother as a child. A player who had faced years of pressure. A player who had experienced setbacks, was now holding a World Series trophy. But for Freddie, that trophy wasn't simply a championship. It represented everyone who had supported him throughout his journey. And it also represented the people he could no longer see, but whose memories remained alive in his heart. After the championship, a new chapter of Freddie Freeman's life began. In 2022, he joined the Los Angeles Dodgers. Leaving Atlanta was emotionally difficult for him, because Atlanta wasn't just his team. It was his baseball home. He had built his career there. He had formed a deep connection with the fans. And he had won a championship there. But professional baseball sometimes forces you to make decisions between your heart and your career. Freddie chose a new chapter. Los Angeles, the Dodgers. And another incredible journey began. But now, we reach the most emotional part of the story. Freddie Freeman wasn't just a baseball player. He was a husband, and he was a father. He had children of his own. And after becoming a father, perhaps he understood his own mother's role in his life on an even deeper level. Then his son, Charlie, faced a serious health condition. For Freddie and his wife, Chelsea, it was an extremely difficult period. Baseball, contracts, championships, everything became secondary. For Freddie, only one thing mattered: his son. A superstar may have money. He may have fame. He may have millions of fans around the world. But when it comes to your child, you're just a father. And during that difficult time, fans saw a side of Freddie Freeman that statistics could never explain. That was the moment when his story became much bigger than baseball. It became a story about family. If we measure Freddie's success only through batting averages, home runs, all-star appearances, and championships, we miss the real story. Because behind Freddie's success was the memory of a mother, the support of a father, the love of a family, and countless difficult moments. He experienced loss. He experienced pressure. He experienced setbacks. And every time, he found a way to come back. That's why when Freddie Freeman steps onto a baseball field, every at-bat is more than just a statistic. It's an opportunity to make his family proud. Today, Freddie Freeman is considered one of the most respected players in Major League Baseball. But perhaps his greatest achievement isn't found in his trophies. Maybe his greatest achievement is that he refused to let his painful memories become his weakness. He turned them into motivation. A young boy who lost his mother became an MLB superstar. A player who built his name in Atlanta became a World Series champion. And a father who stood strong for his children during one of life's most difficult moments. This is the real story of Freddie Freeman. But Freddie Freeman's journey teaches us another important lesson. Sometimes, the thing you believe is your greatest weakness can become your greatest strength. Freddie couldn't bring his mother back. He couldn't change his past, but he could change his future. And that's exactly what he did. He picked up the bat. He stepped back onto the field. And he gave generations of fans a powerful message. Dream. Work hard. Never forget your family. And when life knocks you down, stand back up. Because Freddie Freeman's story isn't just the story of a baseball superstar. It's the story of a son. It's the story of a father. And it's the story of a man who turned his pain into his greatest strength. This is Freddie Freeman. And this is the emotional story behind his success. If you enjoyed Freddie Freeman's emotional journey, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments which moment of Freddie Freeman's journey inspired you the most. We'll see you on day 13 with another unbelievable baseball story.